Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone tonight? Janet, how are you doing, hon?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Hope everyone else is doing good.
This is episode 57, and we are on the dual stream to Rumble. Let me get that pulled up. This is how we do it. All right. Now that I've got that yanked, I can monitor chat in both. Because I don't know if you guys will see this or not. Let me see if I can. Here's perspective that Bruce gets. All right. Cup of joy. Bagel. This is going to be in front of me for most of the night. However, over to the side, I have my chat from YouTube over here because they don't put my chat from Rumble over on StreamYards yet. Please fix this, StreamYards. Hey, Multi-Gun Man, how you doing, sir?
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, here on both platforms. Would like to say that we've got a heck of a situation going on here. We might lose power at the Apartment of Solitude tonight. So before I got in, Mr. Crafting Gamer was first within the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And Six Nation, 31 Kings. Thank you for being here, my friend. Janet's hello. I saw your short. How long did it take you to whip up the costume you're in right now?
About, I guess, 45 minutes.
Oh, fantastic.
It's not too bad.
That's really a short prep time for you married men out there. For you guys that have high maintenance ladies, 45 minutes or less is about the green zone.
It would have took longer to roll my hair like this and dye it and all that stuff. But this is a wig, so wigs are fun.
Married men, buy your wife wigs. Hello. Lady, what is Brocephus? Kind of bummy didn't go his tree. Please check the like button. Thank you. All right. Just got in about 6 minutes ago. The way this operates, until Rumble can set me up, I can do live stream setup a week in advance. Whenever I'm doing anything, I typically will do a Rumble instigation or initiation of a stream at the start of once I get my ass in the seat, and I share it to my co-host, my panelists, to make sure they understand what they need to do to get their Rumble started. If they want to stream on Rumble, I show them all the steps. I want to make sure that people understand when you get on Rumble, it's not the same as doing StreamYard for YouTube or Twitch.
No.
And our friend, the Multi-Gun Man, our Maple Leaf from Canada is here. Excellent. He's doing good. Hey, Multi. All right.
Yeah, I was born in Canada.
Newfoundland, right?
Newfoundland. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want Rumble to get on board with StreamYard so bad because a lot of us use StreamYard because it's just easy. I know that sounds like a weak man's argument, but when you've used other and then you go to StreamYard and it's literally a push button process. That's all it is. So okay. Janet, you have I'm going to rewind just a little bit, and this is going to be just a nothing burger for most of our major fans. For people that don't know what we do as friends, I just want to explain to them your relation with me has happened within the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, you've gotten into the geekier side of things. Now, you have had some work in the industry. You actually have an IMDb page, which we're pretty conscious about not sharing that out to everybody, because I don't need everybody out there knowing that you love the things you love. I want your private life to be your private life. I want your professional life to earn you money.
Mm-hmm.
We try to do that for you in every stream.
Plus, there's too many scary people out there.
There's too many men that claim they're from India that say, Janet, baby, I love you. Please come to me. I can set you up for life. You can have a great life. And I mean, it's funny.
I know. It's scary.
They've been on my YouTube. They've been on my damned comments channel. I go into YouTube Studio, and this man from India who wears a dress. It's a form of dress for their culture. For our culture, we'd call it a dress.
Yeah.
No, dude, you don't get to pick Janet. Sorry. She already has a winner. She's already found her winner. Or for those of you that don't understand that, she's already found her wiener. Okay. Now that I've made myself plainly clear, you have become a friend of mine through family, and basically they've shown me what you do, and you have an amazing startup of a social media. I mean, it's a small footprint, but you have a very loyal group of people that they're just pushing you further and further, and you're getting larger and larger, which I'm very happy about. You started playing basically Dungeons and Dragons with me, and you're getting into it. This is a hobby that whenever you're an Air Force brat or a Navy brat, or whenever your parents are in the service and you're relocating every 4 years, really, you can get into the hobby, but you can't make the friendships that you wanted when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s. So nobody was wanting to bring you in at the time, and here you are now. I've got to beat gaming tables off you. Like, she's mine, get off. She's on my Saturdays. You don't get her. And
yeah, I've had other people ask if I would join games with them since they found out, and I'm like, I don't have time. This is the only one I can play. So well, you know, because I'm doing the other stuff and trying to get my other channel, you know, going and stuff. So, and I'm almost at 10,000 on TikTok, and depending on what happens with that, I don't know how much more I'll have to make for them. So, I know everybody hates TikTok, but you know, that's where I started first. So
yeah, I mean, that's where you started first. I understand that you've got a disposition that's more than okay with it, and that if you want to get famous there, it's fine. One of my favorite streamers he's not a streamer, he's just a video maker, he's a creator, the Fat Electrician, one of the greatest military informants, military educators, military historians is what he's going to be in the long game. The Fat Electrician, one of the best channels out there, started on TikTok, and he's doing great. I don't really have a problem with the actual idea of TikTok. I have a problem with the back end of it, and I have a problem with who runs it, but that's neither here nor there. That's like, I love Dungeons and Dragons, but I hate the current people that own the license.
Yeah, I don't do TikTok on my computer at all.
Sure. So
I use it on my older phone.
Yeah.
So it's separate, and I can only use it when I'm on the internet. It doesn't go through a phone number.
So we have become friends, and there's this entire hobby that you'd never really discovered before. And I showed you some movies from an early group of creators before YouTube. Before YouTube, we had a group of people that were called Zombie Orpheus Entertainment and Dead Gentleman Productions, which I believe the DVDs for this have Dead Gentleman Productions on it, and Zombie Orpheus Entertainment is in tiny print, at least on the Gamers Part 2, which you haven't seen yet. But I introduced you to Part 2 of Demon Hunters, which is Dead Camper Lake. And then we watched The Gamers, which is from 2001. Demon Hunters Part 2 is from 2004.
Yeah.
I want to know, what would, you're new to the hobby, you're seeing the groups of people that would make such products, and then you get to see what honest efforts before the age of the social media influencer came around.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thoughts?
Well, I didn't know what to expect because when you said Dead Camper Lake, okay, I was thinking more of like a Friday night, what was it? What is it called? Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking more like that or something like that, but it wasn't anything like that at all.
No.
But it was. I like stuff like this. I like independent movies, movies that like a couple of places that I'm online with, that's on my LinkedIn and stuff, have a lot of young up and coming, maybe directors, young actors, makeup artists, prop department people, things like that get together and make these little shorts. Now, I haven't seen a full length one like this, but I've seen like 20, 30-minute long shorts that are made up. And that's what they do. They just get together with their friends and borrow their friends' homes and come together with whatever costumes they can find and have a few friends do makeup. And they make their own, films. And that's what they have festivals for. Lots of little festivals all around. Canada has lots of them. And that's what they have is stuff like this. I would like to find out, have either one of these been in a festival? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know if they were in festivals. I know they went and they performed well. See, gamers, they might go to South by Southwest, but they would probably go to like Gen Con or an anime convention instead to display what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Not
well,
that
I thought they were really good. I mean, I thought the stories were good, except some of the way you could tell they weren't professionals. Now the guy that played the one that I can't remember, it's not Gabriel, but the other one they kept calling Wiener.
Yep.
Okay, that actor. He was very versatile. I mean, he was funny. I laughed at him a lot. But those two leads, I thought were the best. The dark-headed guy, he overacted big time in the first one, the Demon Hunter. But he did way better in the gaming one.
I thought so.
So I thought all of them acted way better. That's why I was shocked when you told me that one was filmed first. I was like, they all seemed so relaxed and comfortable in their positions. So
they might have filmed Demon Hunters first, but they didn't release it until 2004
because they all seemed very untapped, in the Demon Hunter one, which I loved because it was like almost like I was getting to help, like be the boom operator or something, getting to stand around and help them do it. But the whole scene where they hit whatever it was that you didn't see, the whole thing was genius in their point of view on how they did that when they hit whatever creature it was that ran out in front of them. And it was constantly spraying blood out. And you heard the noises of the blood shooting out and you could see it coming out in spurts, and it was just, I was laughing my butt off. It was really, really funny. And the looks on their faces was really good. And you didn't even have to see the creature to kind of imagine what could possibly be laying in there, but it was pretty big. And then at the end when it exploded and splashed all over him, he was wearing black, so that was pretty good too. But the only thing that I thought was I would have done a little different if I had been there as a props person or makeup or whatever. I wouldn't have had him in shorts. The guy he was taking up to the camp, he was wearing shorts and tennis shoes when they were going up to be trekking through snow.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a little out of place. But besides that, I thought the rest of it was really, really well done. I think they did a great job considering they did all of it by themselves. I would hire all of them to film one of my movies.
I'm very impressed with this group of young creators, and they're not quite young anymore. This was them in their 20s, and now they're like me, they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them might be grandparents. So nonetheless, it was a very interesting movie because Demon Hunters opens up and you have like a a previous thing that happens. They give you some exposition for about 3 minutes, and then once you watch that and you realize there's a demon at a community college that comes back or wakes up, or it's they have to work with what they have. They're not able to film at the Empire State Building or do New York like a Marvel film. Nope, they're filming at their 3,000 person town in the Pacific Northwest, and it worked. And then once the movie gets going, you realize that there's an organization of demon hunters, and there's been problems in the past because everybody at the lodge is telling them, "Oh yeah, the Vancouver incident. Remember that? Remember you bungled that up? Yeah." And it seems like it really seems like the movie started. It deserved really not to be broken up into two movies. And I haven't seen the first movie, but if the first movie deals with the Vancouver incident, then I obviously need to go back and see the first movie. But I really enjoyed this world building, and that's something that you get. Matt Vancil is one of the guys behind the scenes on this movie series for both the Demon Hunters and the Gamers. And he is not a guy that can get a lot of movie money out there. He's a director.
Yeah.
He has a lot of friends. And one thing he always seems to push the script to do is to world build. And he does all of that in every project he does. It feels like there's something bigger than just what you see on camera, bigger than what you're hearing the actors talk about through their various roles. It feels like there's actually a tangible world that you, an audience member, could go in and step into and be part of for a brief period of time, and then come back from your a hectic vacation into your real life, your mundane job, and go at it and do TPS reports all day. And that just is what it always feels like whenever I watch a Dead Gentleman Productions. They do world building first, and I don't know if you really caught that so much, but because you only have seen 2 of their movies. But as a person who's watched more of their stuff, I really have to say that we might delve this into hey, we're going to go into some art houses and just go through their entire catalog, because it's easy to find stuff and talk about it. But at the same time, that also would be great, because a lot of people I know enjoy Journey Quest. They enjoy Demon Hunters. They like the Gamers series. The Purple Ninja is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought they were so smart in the way that they went around their makeup and everything. I mean, they tried to fill every single gap you could possibly fill without a budget. And when and I couldn't help but laugh, because it did say comedy horror on it, right? Yeah. So while I was watching it, and then when they were talking about the Purple Ninja, I kept trying to imagine what the Purple Ninja would look like. And then when he finally appeared, he's wearing purple dyed long johns. I just couldn't stop laughing. It was just adorable. I mean, it was just a ingenious idea the way he did it, and he's all skinny and tiny next to the guy he's gonna fight. I just thought it was funny as hell. I mean, it was really entertaining, and I liked it. I thought it was really good, and I would watch it again. I mean, it was that good, and I would critique it a little more, but I was so busy laughing through it. But that's good, if it's supposed to be comedy, you're supposed to laugh, So I liked it. I thought it was really good. And I don't know who recommended us watch this. Was it you, or just someone else in the chat brought it up and it made you remember it? But I thought it was really good.
There was a stream we did where some of our audience realized, hey, we can suggest things and they'll put them on the schedule. And so I started doing that. So if I'm not going to lie. If I get super chats, that's the quickest way to get something put on schedule. Sorry. But when somebody just puts it in chat, hey, Bruce, here's a movie you should like, or here's a movie that you like, show Janet. I guess that goes on schedule too. And we do that. My mom and dad are watching right now. So That's kind of funny. It's like, okay, I'm sure if I get a message from Dad, like, you're going to talk about our favorite movie from 1982, which that's not the thing.
But the thing is, I thought that they did a really good job at trying to build tension for each scene. And the fact that when they told him he was out, he was no longer a hunter, he stayed there. Just little things like that were just so cute. I couldn't help but just want to run over there and just give them all big old hugs because they were just adorable. And the one girl that beat the crap out of the one, what was the one guy's name that wasn't Gabriel? The other one?
You mean Wiener?
Wiener, yeah. Poor Wiener, he was just so funny. I just really loved him. I thought he was so funny. And the fact that he could play the piano, because it had to be him. I know they didn't have the budget to put someone else's music in there and sing. I was just impressed. He really impressed me. I can't believe he's not, a name already, because he seemed like he did really well. I mean, I thought he did really good, believable characters. And the scene where he kept getting shot over and over again in the chest, and Gabriel would use that little crucifix to bring him back to life. He was a vampire. So I just thought it was a genius, and I thought they did a really good job. I'm sure I would love to see outtakes from from what they did while they're on there, and who did the makeup and how they came up with their costumes, all that stuff. That would be just really interesting, I think, to watch that on how to make your own movie. You know what I mean? They could do a documentary and break apart all the movies they made and show other young up and coming people that want to be involved in movies how to make your own movie. I think they'd be very good at it and might inspire a bunch of young actors and prop people that want to do makeup, people that want to do costumes and wardrobes, and the person that found the locations for all the different scenes that they filmed and how they made their gateway to hell, all that stuff. It was just really well done. I just loved it. But the thing is, when the monster came up out of his chest, it looked like Darth Maul.
Yeah, he did.
To me, that's who the first person I thought of when I got to see that. So I just like they did a wonderful job. Bravo. I think they did excellent. I thought it was great for a very limited budget.
Yeah, this movie was definitely made on a shoestring budget.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just enjoyed this film far too much. And I know that sounds weird, but if you come in my Discord sometime this week, it's going to be getting played. I can almost guarantee you probably a Wednesday or Friday night, probably post 9 p.m. because I had too much fun watching this, and I want to watch it again because I'd never sat down to watch it. I've watched The Gamers a lot, and there's a lot to The Gamers because that's kind of like their breakthrough. That was what they got into the Gen Con with, and they made a big name for themselves in 2001, 2002.
Uh-huh.
And it's just an amazing story of how Don Early and Matt Vancil pushed through with this stupid idea of regular people making fun movies on a shoestring budget, mm-hmm. and reinventing silly little special effects you could do on a laptop after you shoot the scene and start the processing for it, and you could have it wrapped within a week. The editing could be done feasibly within a week's time. Mm-hmm. And it's just a great demonstration of what dedication to a craft can do. I hate to sound like I'm fellatio on these guys, but for no matter what their political affiliation is, mm-hmm. just as artists, I have to say bravo, because every time they've gotten behind the camera to do something, I've not just enjoyed it, I've re-experienced it over and over, and I've shared it, and I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's just a fact that maybe I'm excessively lonely. I don't know.
Well, all I can say is the Gamers one, when we got to watch that one, it was like they really play. You know what I mean? It just watching it, it's like they really do play that game.
Yeah.
You know, and the only thing I would have done different is I would have moved the camera to where the gap was, because they were sitting like a horseshoe shape. Okay, and they had the camera behind the dungeon master. I would have brought it a little bit around so you could actually see the side of his face and stuff while he was talking. So I would have done, that's what I would have done a little different, because they did have a stationary camera. But I just thought it was adorable. I just thought they did a great job. And the young woman they got to keep coming into their room, yelling at them from her dorm room. She was very good. She was very talented. I thought she was very believable for her character.
There's more of her. There's more of her out there. She's really a talented little actress. I enjoy her far too much. Just as her being a various like, what do you have? You know, she's that type of girl. She goes straight to Matt and Don, and she asks them, "What parts do you have? Because I want to be involved with it." And they've got a troop of people that are willing to put their life on schedule to fit the shooting schedule, which that sounds really weird, but if you look at who they use for each of their products as they churn out more and more things like Journey Quest or revamping Doyle or things like that, you get to see a talented troupe of young players really bite off, and they do good work. They did.
You could tell that they loved what they were doing. You know what I mean? It came across in all of the actors, even the ones that didn't really do, really top notch, for the character. The one that had all the lines that played the one, I can't remember what his name was right this second, but he did.
Chris, the accountant.
I don't know. No, not him. The one the dark-headed one that was the leader of the demon club when they all went to the other building. That's the one I thought didn't do very well. But in the Gamers one, I thought all of them did really good. They were all believable for their characters. He just seemed to overact in the demon one to me. And maybe it was because he was trying to portray this evil character or whatever. The big, huge guy, I thought he was really good. I mean, he looked like he could have been a pro wrestler or something. Yes. And then the macho one in Gamers that was always like flexing his muscles and stuff. He was funny. And the whole scene where the thief, it reminded me of one of our games where Connell's always griping about, how, can I shoot this arrow through here? Or if it's a flaming arrow, what kind of arrow should I use? We're all complaining and talking to each other about what we think is going to work. And he's like, he's not agreeing with us. And he was saying, well, that shouldn't happen to me because I sneak, I'm a sneaker. I sneak around. And he goes, well, you didn't say you were going to sneak. I just thought it was adorable because it was like they were really playing a game, I just liked it. I thought they did an excellent job. Both of them were really good. Now, I thought the Demon Hunter one had a lot more detail because they were in the woods, seeing them in the in the woods, in the snow, and then him have to take a leak and, and driving, and all things, and then hitting whatever the creature was and having the blood shoot out and all the sound effects and everything that we would love with it. I just thought it was great. I just thought you could tell this group of people really wanted to get this production made, and they loved what they were doing, and they looked like they enjoyed themselves and just wanted to see it come to fruition and see it come to life, basically, because that's what it is. You're putting it pen to paper, you make something, and then you hand it to someone you trust to bring it to life for you. and that is like a dream come true. You know what I mean? And it looked like they really enjoyed it. But the purple ninja was my favorite. I just loved him. When he came out and he's wearing those long johns, he's supposed to be super powerful and stuff. I just couldn't stop laughing. It was just hilarious. And then when they opened the gateway and there were only 4 demons came out, I thought that was really funny too. So, and then they come out and it was like a bad set of prop costumes. That's all they had. So I don't know. I just thought it was funny. But the one that kept getting hit over the head with the oar, that was funny too. The girl that was hitting him over the head. I just thought all that was hilarious. So I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought they did an excellent job and they should all be proud of themselves. Am I here by myself? But I loved it. I don't know who recommended it, but they were talented, very talented young people, and you could tell they really enjoyed what they were doing. But if I was to do it, I wouldn't have picked somewhere where there was a bunch of snow like that. I just think, or I would have waited till it was springtime, because I think that was, I don't know. It just took me away from it because they're going to a lake to do a hunt or whatever, and they weren't prepared. They made sure they checked for all the weapons in the back seat because they had that one bomb that he accidentally set off, and he was freaking out because it was the countdown was going off, and the other guy just said push the red button. So he calmed down. So he was having to do that, but he was wearing shorts and tennis shoes, and they were going to where there was like 5 feet of snow on the side of the road. So there was a few little things that I would have been done different, but overall I thought it was very well done considering they had no money. And I've seen worse that had lots of money. So I thought it was very entertaining.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you a second ago. I thought you left.
No, something happened there. I don't know what happened. We're gonna share something real quick, and I think you're talking about this guy right here. He played Mark the Red in The Gamers, the Barbarian, and then he also played Ichabod.
Ichabod, that's it. That's who he played. Yes.
Okay, so that's Chris Dupenthaler, and
he's the one that stabbed him in the chest. And when he stabbed him, I went, oh, I was shocked that he really did stab him because I thought the other guy was going to come and save him before he got, killed. And then when he was a vampire and he followed him and showed up at the house they were all at, and Gabriel was defending him, don't shoot him. We're trying to get information from him. And then when he said about him messing up with his other girlfriend or whatever, Angel, I think it was what her name was. And then he took the gun and shot him himself. I thought that whole scene was just adorable. I mean, they did such good timing and everything. I mean, they were so talented. I thought for having no money and pretty much doing it probably in their grandma's house or somewhere. I just thought it was good. I thought they did really, it was funny.
I avoided Dead Camper Lake because at the time I didn't want to see everything they had out because I didn't want to have a miss. Mm-hmm. But for what this movie was, it was really enjoyable. And I wasn't expecting the ending that we got, but I enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed just how they set up everything. Like I said, the world building is what I fell in love with. I did like the fact that they had no money for a fight choreography. So we got bad choreography instead, which it still made sense.
Oh, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought they did pretty good, especially the fact that they did a lot of the stuff off camera. So all you heard was sound effects, and then you'd see the reaction of the people, like when the purple ninja went over there to fight the big red demon guy that was there. And you just hear all this crunching and ripping sounds, and then you see them turn and look because you saw the other guy die, right? The one that got cut and torn in half, and you saw his legs and stuff land over here. It is bottom torso, and then all of a sudden over the other side you saw his other part of his body, right? So later when the purple ninja got ripped in half, you just saw everybody's looking as you hear sound like the body, that part, and then the other part went over there. So I just thought it was funny as heck. I thought the timing of them were good. Even the little brunette that kind of, I can't remember what her name was. They were looking for it. What was her name?
I think it was Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia. Remember I said something out loud. Maybe my mic wasn't on, but when we were watching it, because there was a scene where she looked like she came up to Wiener and tried to bite him on the neck, like she was a vampire herself. Yep. So remember I said, well, how could she be with this group if she's a vampire? Because she's, supposed to be a demon hunter or whatever. But I thought she was cute as a bug. That's who I kind of like wanted to kind of dress kind of gothy like her, because I thought she was kick ass. And she was punching the guys in the face, and she was just the cutest thing. All of them were adorable. I just loved it. I'd love to meet all of them. If I could ever go to a little fan con or something like that, I'd go and get my picture taken with all of them. I thought they were awesome.
We need to get your channel outfitted with a countdown for money so we can send you to Gen Con. And
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that stuff yet, but I'm working on it. Hey, I did my own live streams. I've done three live streams, and I didn't do one last Friday because my shoulder it's sore right now. I mean, I'm trying. If I just sit here like this holding it for a little bit, it's because it's aching. But if I take anything for it, I'll be asleep. So I just have to fidget a little bit and stuff. But
we'll ship you some coffee beans so you can chew on those. And whenever you get angry at your achy shoulder, you can bite down a little harder on the coffee.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I'm glad I got to watch it because it's been a long time since I've seen some of these because I've been in a couple of little homemade type things and very low budget films and a couple of series online. Not dirty or anything, just fan fiction stuff.
I expect to one of these days see what I'm looking for pop up on your page, and I'll turn on Star Trek Continues and they've got you cast on there.
That would be great. Now I have done voiceovers for some other things, like I did a voiceover for one of the puppy bowls. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Okay, well, I did that. It had the halftime kitten show and all that. I did voices for some of those things like that. So,
and after we finished Dead Camper Lake, I showed you what I was introduced to them with, which was The Gamers Part 1.
That was the one with the girl that was telling them to shut up because
yes.
they were making so much
Emily
noise.
Olsen.
I loved them. I thought they did. That was the one I thought was the second movie because they were all so much more believable in this one. It was very. They all played their roles well, even when they were doing they're sitting around the table playing Dungeons and Dragons and rolling their dice and everything. And it was genius how they took you into the story. So you see them out there frolicking in the woods in their costumes as the characters, right? And then you hear the dice rolling while they're getting ready to do something, like the guy that was trying to sneak. And then he got blown up, and then he said he got mad and he said you should have been do this, that, and the other, and the dungeon master goes, okay, so he let him have another roll, and then he died again. So I just thought that was it's really, really smart. It was like they were really playing a game. I mean, I thought they did great. And but somebody like my sister, she's never done it. She's never been interested in it. She probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did. But since I like that type of stuff, and I understand it more now. I mean, I understood some, but I understand it way better now. And so it was just very entertaining. I thought it was adorable. I'm the one that came down the hallway bitching him out. That one.
I really like Emily Olsen. She's a very talented actress. She's been in a lot of things. I don't know what her whole. I mean, I could go look on IMDb, but I'd rather not because I've got my hands full of paints and miniatures. But I know she's got a lot out there, and her best received work is still with Matt Vancil and Dead Gentleman Productions. She's done a lot of things, and she's a frequent actor in Pacific Northwest. She does try to appear in everything they've got going on. She does like earning that mortgage payment from them because they are easy to work with. They set up good times to do scheduling for makeup and prep time, and then there you go. You know, it's action. And I'm pretty certain they're not a very strenuous company to work for. I mean, there are some nights where, like in their second Gamers movie, there's a behind the scenes moment where they're frustrated. They haven't had the scene properly filmed yet. They've done multiple takes, and one of the guys compares it to Ed Wood. And it kind of classes it up a little bit. And I hate to say that, but I like that movie Ed Wood quite a bit. But I shouldn't. Anyway, it's just a very interesting behind the scenes look they let you see on the Gamers Part 2, which we'll be watching that here within the next month. And I think everybody's
I'm looking forward to it now that I did research a little bit on him because I was able to find the one guy that played Gabriel, and he was not even American. He's British.
Nathan Rice.
The link that I sent you.
Yeah, he's
the one that played the Purple Ninja too.
Yeah.
So I was really so impressed with him. He was really cute, really funny, and you could tell he loves what he's doing. So I liked it. But he did really good at his accent not being, overpowering to where you didn't realize he wasn't from America. I never did see Ed Wood yet. I don't know why. Something must have been going on, or I'd seen a couple other movies instead. Because when you're on a limited budget, you can only go see your favorite stuff. But I will have to watch it one day. I don't know where he went. He's trying to find something, I guess.
Nathan Rice is still working. I believe he's still in the Pacific Northwest area because he hasn't broken ranks with these guys. He's done a lot on his own.
And he has?
I believe he has, but he's done the majority of his good work has been like the stuff that's been recognized has been with Don Early and Matt Vancil, and so he's doing what he can, which I'm not really upset about because he's wanting to get himself out there. He's only 40, and he's got a big future ahead if he's allowed to take it. That's the thing. Last thing he was in the Gamers, The Shadow Menace, which I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
He did Knights of the Dinner Table. I think they filmed 3 episodes of that.
So the gamer ones, the ones that have gamer, they're playing game, and then they're off doing the other stuff like they did on that one.
Yes. Okay,
because the ending of that I thought was bizarre. It was not what I was expecting. No. When their characters broke in the door looking for the princess and killed all of them. I thought that was ingenious, but it was a shocking ending for me because I was not expecting that at all. And then she comes in and finds them all dead. It's like, what? They killed each other.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't know. Because she wasn't in there. Or she saw them. Yeah, when she did see them, she just thought they were them dressed in costumes or something. Because they looked just like them.
Now, the young girl that the character, I'm going to take it back to Dead Camper Lake real quick. Cindy Messler played Angel, the girl in the white dress. And
the pretty lipstick.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry, Janet.
I said with the pretty lipstick and eyeshadow.
Yeah. She is married to the guy that played Silent Jim in that movie. And Silent Jim is Don Early. Don Early directed Dead Camper Lake.
Okay. Silent Jim. Which one was that?
He
the
was
one
the
in
one
the woods?
He kept shooting Wiener in the chest with a shotgun.
He reminded me of trying to remember the actor.
Hugo Weaving is who he reminds me of. Which he did a good job.
He reminded me of a famous actor that I've seen in lots of stuff, and he was on that detective series for years. And he reminds me of the lead singer of the Cars.
Okay.
I don't remember what the actor's name is, but that's who he reminded me of. He was on a detective series for a long, long time, and he wore a hat sometimes that looked like the one this guy was wearing. But yeah, he was funny. That guy was funny. The guy that kept shooting, he's a Nosferatu, whatever. He was real serious. He never smiled. You know, he was funny.
See,
he did good.
There's a funny one of Nathan Rice, the guy that played Gabriel, and then he played New Moon in The Gamers.
Yeah.
There's a funny one where it's kind of a continuation of everything, and I can't find the short. If you guys in the chat know the short, let me know. But there's Nathan Rice, and he's in front of the HR department at the mall. And they hired him because he's an elf. And they're upset at him because he's tired of dealing with children. He's like, these little humans are irritating, and they smell and they pee themselves quite often. And he keeps eating the candy canes out of the HR lady's bowl on her desk.
It sounds familiar. I'm trying to look up this guy, Mickey Spillane or whatever. I'm going to see if that's the guy.
Not Mickey Spillane. I think Don left Dead Gentleman in 2019 or so. He's still affiliated with them just because of past projects.
That's not who I'm thinking.
Does Don run Zombie Orpheus Entertainment, or is that somebody else? Yeah, Shadow Menace was supposed to be decent. But this little experiment, I wanted to bring Janet a little closer into the geek that she's stepping into with both feet to her hips, because this is something that we'll probably have a quiz on later during one of our game sessions. And one of my friends, like, you guys watch us on Saturdays when we have the table. Big Greg is one of those guys that the DM can put a shiny out there in the game, and Big Greg's got to fuck with it. Oh, it's shiny. I got to fuck with it. And that's what Greg does. So, okay, Shadow Menace is a candy. Okay, I'll have to show Janet that after all this. There's
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll show you. I gotta show you the fucking candy cane scene, because it's such high quality entertainment. Like it's abysmal that nobody else has seen this stuff. Like, these guys are criminally so underloved, and they could. I hate saying they could be big, because I've seen what happens when people get big. They get egos and stupidity.
Well, they're older now. These guys are in their 40s. So I don't think that if they did become bigger, they would become assholes. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so.
And the actor that played, was it Ichabod? Is that what you said his name was?
Yep.
Okay, that actor, when I first saw him, he looked like a young, I don't know the guy's name, but he was in the movie or the TV series made from the comic book, and he was dag nabbit. I go blank like this every time. Hold on, I gotta look it up real quick. It's gonna drive me crazy.
Flady, send me the link on Discord. YouTube just chomped it.
It was a TV series, 2 seasons, and then they took it off the air, and he was a preacher. Oh, The Preacher. Remember the TV show, The Preacher?
Yes.
The actor that played the preacher. Remember the TV show, The Preacher?
Okay.
Yeah, that actor. I'm trying to find his name real quick. A young guy that played Ichabod looked like a young version of that actor.
Thank you, Flady, for sending me that link. We'll have to show that towards the end of the show. See what happens with YouTube if they get upset with me. But god damn it, this is fucking quality gaming comedy. It is so good. YouTube is asshole. Yes, YouTube is asshole.
Darn it, what is his name? Yeah, the actor that played Jesse Custer, but I don't remember what his name is. Does anybody know?
No.
I can't remember what his name is. He's the one that played Jesse.
Okay.
But that's who he reminded me of. He could play his well, I don't know if he could now because they're probably around the same age, but that's why I thought it was him when I first saw it, that it could have been him, because I knew it was a low budget film and a lot of actors start out and stuff like that. So that's why I thought it could be him, because it did look a lot like him. He had the same darker complexion, jet black hair. The same thing with his eye when he'd raise his one eyebrow. So I don't know. But yeah, Dominic Cooper, that's him. He's great. I loved the first season, was so good. I don't know what happened to the writers and stuff. They had to who was writing or something, because it went so good. It was like it was reading the comic book and it was coming to life. I mean, it was really good, but the second season was terrible. Because his wife was in the movie too. She played his love interest in the TV show. I keep calling it the movie, but
that's weird. He also played Howard Stark in the MCU.
I think so. Yeah, he's been in a lot of things. He's a good actor. I just loved him, and he's in another. It was like a Western type thriller, psycho thriller. After he did The Preacher. But I just don't understand what happened. That's what I'm talking about. You get a really good, episode, the opening episode of a show, a pilot type thing, and it just kicks butt, and everybody just loves the characters and everything. And then you get a series. So the first season is usually with the same people, same writers and things like that they use to make the pilot, and it's really good. And then they get cheap. They just say, well, we don't want to pay that much for the writers. We don't want to do this. So they make all these changes, and then you get, like what happened with True Blood. The True Blood series was really, really good. But as the actors got more and more famous, they had to pay more and more money. So they cut budgets. They cut it on props, and they cut it on writing and everything else. And the show just goes to pot. So, it's sad that they do that. I wish they didn't. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again, where they just really, drop the ball and it ruins the show. But these young guys and gals, I really think that if, they could get more people. I mean, if I was rich, I would definitely invest in them, because I think they're very talented. And if they had the right material, the right stuff to work with, that's up their alley, I think they could probably have a really good hit. I mean, what was the name of that movie? The Blair Witch Project or something? The Blair Witch. Yep. Okay. That was a low budget, indie type movie, and it did really well. So, there's lots of movies out there like the Devil's Due or whatever it was called. That was 4 directors, and they were picked off of YouTube. I think they were young, up and coming people, and some big studios saw some of their shorts and thought, hey, we got a script for you guys if you guys can, make it. And they had to make that movie. Now, I don't think the movie was real successful, but they did a good job, because they did make it. And I'm sure one or two of them went on and made more stuff, because they were, someone big saw them and thought they were really good, wanted to use them for something. So, that's what I'm saying. You could be walking through a mall and some famous actor or director is walking and sees you and say, oh, I want you for my next movie or TV show. And that's how a lot of people get found, become models or actors. So
isn't that kind of funny how just things like that happen?
Well, I've been on sets before. And there'll be the director's like, I need somebody, just something's missing in this scene. I need something. And he's like, and then they go off and they talk, him and his a few other people, go together and they're all talking. And then they'll come back, the director come back and walk through the group, and you'll have, all these background actors, police officers or whatever, all standing around dressed up in their costumes. And he'll say, hey, I want you to come over here and I want you to do this and say this. You think you can do that? And he'll say, sure. And so they'll film it. And then he'll say, okay, I liked it. I like this guy. Do whatever you have to do to get him up to speed. And they'll pay his SAG and make him a SAG member so they can be in the movie.
Do you remember the young girl from Beverly Hills Cop?
There was a few of them in there.
Okay. There was a lady that...
Tina Leone?
No. Okay. I'm talking about the 1984 film. No, not that one. Go back. Nope. Forward. Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. There's a young blonde-haired girl.
Yeah.
She was in the first movie. And she had read for the part of Princess Leia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting for my phone to allow me to pan over to the actress's name. But she actually read Lisa Eilbacher. She played Jenny Summers, the little cute blonde that had the red Mercedes. And she reads for the Star Wars film with Harrison Ford, and it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen this before. And so I'm watching it because I did a deep dive on Beverly Hills Cop about 3 weeks ago because they had it for free on YouTube. So, okay, I'll watch it. Oh, got the second movie available. I'll watch that too because I like Ronnie Cox. He's just he's a piece of work. He's an asshole in RoboCop, but he plays a really good supervisory staff in Beverly Hills Cop. And Lisa Eilenbacher or Eibacher, whatever her name is, she has a reading for Princess Leia with Harrison Ford on the Star Wars movie in 1976. And they filmed that. They put that up on YouTube. I don't know who did that, but it really brought in some thoughts. Like, I would have never known Carrie Fisher if that would have gone through. And I really enjoyed listening to her read the part for Carrie Fisher. And which eventually became Princess Leia that we know.
Yeah.
But George Lucas does this. He will get people and he'll just have a script in front of him and he's like, okay, I need you all to do this scene. He doesn't like doing individual reads. He wants to kind of maximize his time and he wants to have everybody involved and he wants to see how they all get along, how they interact, how their jive is. And I think that's one of the best ways to really see how it works. And this movie here, the only problem that I don't like about the Demon Hunter movie is the wife of the director that played Angel. And I don't mean to seem like a prick, but I know why she got the part because she was dating the director at the time, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I really
didn't. All the time.
I really didn't think she played a convincing part. She seemed kind of like stiff or soulless. And this movie may have been filmed back in 99 or 98 before they filmed The Gamers Part 1. Because The Gamers wasn't made in 2002. It was just released in 2002. It was filmed in the 90s.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was so much more relaxed. You had a more relaxed crew of people.
That's why I said that I could have swore that they made the first one we watched was their very first film they'd ever done, because you could tell by the awkwardness they seemed awkward, and one was overacting really bad, and it just had lots of little, character flaws and things like that. But the second one, when we watched the one where they were playing the Dungeons and Dragons game, it just seemed like all of them were like hitting the mark over and over again, even when they were out in the woods as the other characters that were playing. And it just seemed like they were more experienced in that one. So that's why I think they seemed better at it.
I really think that the Gamers if I hadn't seen the Gamers Part 2, I would have thought the Gamers was their early peak, because it's so well acted. The script isn't that great. I'm gonna rip on the script a little bit, but I really enjoyed how they did so much with so little, and how they conveyed everything. I just don't like the ending. I don't really need them to kill their players, in the real world. I had other thoughts in my head as the movie was progressing, but that's the worst part of that movie.
What I was thinking was going to happen on that one was that she's going to go back and forth. And when she was mad at the very end and she was going to open the door, that they would all see her dressed as the princess.
Yeah.
And they're talking to her and she's like, what's going on? When we see her talking, she's normal, like she's in her pajamas like she was in. But when we see it from their angle, we see her as the princess, you know what I mean? And They were all like, we saving her, we got her, whatever type thing. That's what I was thinking was going to happen. But it didn't end up. So that's why I was kind of like, the ending was kind of bizarre. I wasn't expecting that ending for that thing. But the whole movie, to me, leading up to that, I thought they did a great job. The whole thing with the rolling the dice while you're seeing them in the woods, but you hear the dice roll on the table, and then them say, damn, because they didn't get it. And then you rooting that he got that natural 20, stuff like that. Just things that only gamers would pick up on, because no one else that's not a gamer would never watch it, I don't think. You know what I mean?
Not.
So I thought it was really good. I thought they did a great job at putting themselves in the game. I know they laughed their asses off running around and doing some of the corny stuff they were doing out in the woods. I just thought it was great. I loved it. I thought it was really. I
would love to see the outtakes for the Gamers more than I would like to see the outtakes for the Demon.
Well, I would like to see for all of it, just because I would like to see how they put together. Because you got to remember too, there's so many other aspects in making a film that people don't think about. All the time it takes to charge up the batteries for the cameras, and then you got to have wires to make sure they have mics, and they got to have the makeup person ready at any time to fix whatever makeup. And even the fact that they didn't have any blood on their clothes, and different things like that for the injuries. But the crafty, having a table with food and water and other things they need. Then you have to have a first aid kit. You have to have, all these different things that you have to have, because people are going to get bit by bugs. People are going to fall down. People are going to, you have to go to the bathroom. I mean, you got all these other aspects of what it takes to make that, especially if you want to get as much filmed in one day as possible. You want no one to leave. You want everyone to stay on set so they can get this stuff done. Because every day that you have to have them there, that's that much more time that's going to take the, get what you need to edit later on. So I just thought they did really, really good. I was really impressed.
Six Nations 31 Kings says, it was brilliant in that respect, and it very much beats the horny bard trope that's overdone nowadays. Well, I kind of hate to mention this, but these guys are responsible for the horny bard trope. Not with this movie, with the second movie.
Uh-huh.
Hey, grumpy old ninja. This movie here, you used to have in the 90s and early 2000s, I'm a sneaky thief. I'm going to cause us some crap at the table. Dude, we're trying to just sell our shit in town. Here you are trying to steal everything not nailed down. I'm a thief, right? This is a problem at mini
Well,
tables.
that scene where they're in the little pub and he's like rolling the dice or whatever, and he's like, I'm gonna steal his wallet, or I'm gonna steal this from him, and steal that, and then he goes, I'm gonna steal his pants,
Yeah.
Pushing the envelope like some of the guys do when we're playing.
Yes.
And I'm like, hey, that's a bad idea. I think we should leave this room. I mean, there's a spell in there and something bad's going to happen. It's not worth it. And everybody's like, we're going to go in. We're going to go in. So I said, all right, I want to stay in the back and you guys can go in. That type of thing, because that's what you're supposed to do. And then all hell hits, it hits the fan when everybody starts going in and they start getting killed, and stabbed and bad shit's happening. But that's what happens in real games, because your team has to, try and see what happens. And one at a time get picked off, but that's the part of it. And then all those rolls are really good, and then you have the other person's roll can't roll shit like me, I'm lucky when I get a really good roll. I'm really happy about it. But I just thought that was really smart. The person that decided to do that script was an actual player, and you could tell. That's why I said, that's why to me it seemed like they all were better actors, is because they actually probably really play the game. So when they're sitting there and they're interacting with each other, it was real, you know what I mean? So it came across as believable,
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. This is entirely why you'll find me, as much as everybody is saying, Bruce, are you going to follow Nerdrotic and Doomcock as they do reviews on Star Trek Season 3 of Picard? No. To me, Star Trek died. And if you want to try to go play with a zombie, go play with a zombie. That's great. I don't want to see Jean-Luc Picard trying to be Jean-Luc Picard at age 86. Because in my head, there's no need for me to watch any new media. One, the actors I like to watch in the 80s are in their 50s through their 90s right now if they're still alive. Mm-hmm. Watching them age is not getting fun for me. Me aging, not getting fun for me. I'm going to watch older stuff. There's a whole pile of stuff that I haven't watched yet that I want to watch. I've got Janet to talk about things with on Monday nights. I've got a stack of gaming stuff I want to do on Saturdays with my friends. I don't need modern media. It provides me something to listen to people bitch about while I shower and get the grime of work off my skin. But once I'm out of the shower, I don't really care. Like the dead, what is it? The drinker, the critical drinker was talking about Menu when I first popped in here with Janet, and I'm like, oh crap, I've got that on. Let me turn that off. Hey Janet, how are you? And we start talking, but I'm not going to watch the Menu. As much as I want to probably see it because it looks like a good movie with Fiennes, and he's one of my more favorite actors. He did great with the Kingsman Part 3, the prequel Kingsman movie. I really like that film, even though Rasputin was done dirty. I really like that film. And I just, there's not a lot of new films I want to see. There's not a lot of new entertainment that I'm going to tune in for.
But I remember, about, I guess maybe 15 years ago, whatever, how excited I was to get to go to the movies, to see something, and standing in line to get to go see something. And then each year that went by after that, it was like, maybe, I'll just watch that on DVD. It got more and more like that. And then it was next thing, it was like, if it comes out on, like HBO, I'll watch it on HBO or something like that. So it was, I don't know. It just seems like the movies got worse and worse. They just weren't movies that I was dying to see and be able to see it opening night. That excitement kind of went out the window. So it's sad. It's like I say it all the time. It's just like what was it? The Fifth Element. We got to watch The Fifth Element, and we got to see Ruby Rod running around screaming, dressed like a woman, very flamboyant, but the women loved him and he loved the ladies, all that. And then you had, all the other different characters in it. And it just had so much versatility in it, you know, in the character arrangement and all that. And then today it's like, it's just boring. I mean, it's just nothing. It's like there's no stories, there's no intrigue. It's just blah. You know, it's all the same thing. It's like a different title, but it's the same boring story over and over and over again. And they just keep remaking and remaking and remaking instead of going out, finding new people like these young people that did this show. There's more people like that. You go to every college in drama, and I guarantee you're going to find young people with scripts, even old people with scripts. You just get on some different websites and look at these scripts websites, you know, like Coverflow. And I guarantee you can find some really good scripts. And I know that they take scripts and they'll go through a bunch of them because they have assistants that go out and read different scripts that aren't out yet, you know, from these websites. And then they take them to their boss, and their boss will flip through them and say, hey, we'll take these 3 scripts and we'll rewrite them together and make this one film. I've heard very many directors that have done that. And then you got a brand new movie, but you're giving 3 writers a chance to do something, you know, instead of just saying, well, we're going to bring in our own people and make a whole new thing using this or that. Because, you know, they just can't come up with anything new, and they don't want anyone else to be famous or make it because they don't want anybody else to get any credit, because the screenwriter's name is just as big as the director's up on screen. So what is that? A pile of dead people?
A pile of dead bards. You'll understand it later.
Oh, is these the people that they keep talking about in our story?
Yeah.
With the mules or something, or the donkeys?
No. That's our story. The pile of dead bards is something that was started by Zombie Orpheus and.
Oh, okay. So this is a movie that we're going to watch then. Later
on, yes, it is. There's the
but
actual.
I'm still waiting for us to find out what happened to the mule people or the donkey people in our story.
If we ever get that resolved, probably little Greg will bail on us. As much as I don't want him to, he got really upset because I brought a co-worker into my game, not at the table or online, but I just impersonated him to a T, and Greg just fucking snapped. He did. He snapped. He didn't want to deal with this guy off work, along with dealing with him at work. And so he killed all of these people in my game, and the game has never really been the same since. Chris wants some justice for the poor donkey handlers. We'll see what happens.
Oh, he basically went berserk like that one scene in the Gamers movie.
Yes, he completely went berserk. And
that was funny too. That he was frozen there and he just stood there and everybody walk up to him and look at him like.
Well, the character was. It's usually something that in the gaming, there's a trope where like you have a player that doesn't show up, but we got to play his character, and so the DM will take over that character, and the character says nothing throughout the entire game until it's time for the last combat, and then you kill him because the player's not there. And that's just a trope in the games that we play. So please, on game day, tell me you're going to be there, and secondly, be there. And you've not disappointed on that at all. My table has been enriched by you, Janet. I wish you quite understood that.
You just don't realize, and I know I probably got on your nerves because I was like, thank you so much for just, and I feel bad because, I got that chart for the different dice, but it's not broke down the same way as the way you guys talk about it. It says to roll this dice for this, that, and the other, but the way you guys say it, I'm like, I don't know which dice I'm supposed to roll because the description is different. on the thing that I laminate, because I have my own laminating machine because I make so much stuff, craft wise. So I laminate it so I'd have my thing and I could do it myself, but I still haven't been able to exactly figure out what dice is for what. But I did get me some more of the square ones so that I could roll all of them, 5 of them at once, instead of having to roll it one at a time.
That will be helpful.
Yeah. So I did do that.
You have to understand, while nationwide, most players will prefer the fighter or the magic user, or sadly the bard. Nowadays, most DMs prefer their players. Like, I look at a player that says, I willingly want to run a cleric. I look at that person like you're a saint. You want to keep the party together. You want to keep them alive and on task. And that's just how I view that person. I know that sounds really weird or really lame, but the fact you were like, no, I'll play the cleric. I'm like, well, she has no experience.
Yeah, I thought it was great, especially when I was able to pick whether I could be half human, half elf, or half this, that, whatever it was that I decided I wanted. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then you had a list of different deities that I could worship, and I just picked and choose ones that I really felt I would want to be. You know what I mean? And my whole thing was I wanted to be someone that could help my team be successful. And that's who I want to be. And I was really sad when I died. Man, I was heartbroken. For 2 weeks, I had to just piddle around the house going, well, if they don't like me very much, they're not going to want to bring me back to life. So when I come back, I'm going to be a mean old hag, a dragon or some evil, horrible witch or something. I said, if they want me to come back to the game, that's what I'll do. And then I won't help anybody. I'm just going to be mean and stuck up. So I was thinking, because I didn't know what was going to happen. And when I died, it seemed like I was just starting to learn how, and now I'm dead. So it's over, but I love it. I look forward to it. I really do. I just think it's so. My sister calls me 4 or 5 times and she's like, "You're still playing? How boring." She just can't get over it. She just has no clue. So, so we might sound alike and we might look a little alike.
Not alike.
No.
I wish my friends and the people on YouTube and Rumble, and for those of you that are watching us on Rumble, really thank you for watching us over here. As time goes on, I see Rumble becoming more and more of my creative outlet. YouTube is turning into a corporate shithole, and most of my friends are joining me over on Rumble, which is fine. That's where we're going to go. We're going to have a fight on YouTube still. And we're willing to continue our products on YouTube, but I prefer Rumble because Rumble doesn't get upset when I say there's only 2 genders. There's only, no reason for a failed male athlete to add a badge to me and be a champion female swimmer.
Yeah.
You look like a Jim Carrey trans thing from In Living Color. Anyway.
But see, how long ago did that come out?
20 years.
Do you remember?
25 years.
20-something years ago, all that was normal. People could dress up like that and we could laugh at it. It was funny. It was actual comedy. Like when Jim Carrey dressed up as Vanilla Ice and he's dancing around, all stupid and dorky. And then the other one, the one that played Tooth, Jamie, I think it was Jamie Foxx, right? And he's dancing around. He's pretending to be, I don't know what, some rapper, Big Daddy or something like that. And he fell off the stage. And when he stood up, his face was outside of where a zipper would be because those pants were so huge. Remember? Just stupid, funny stuff like that. You can't do now. I mean, anything like that, if they did that type of comedy today, they'd be crucified as hate mongers or... I don't understand it. It's just sad because we're going backward in entertainment instead of forward. I'm thankful that I was around to get to watch, shows like In Living Color, and I got to watch what was that other one? Mad TV. Remember that? That was really good. And then the man show where the girls jumping on trampolines, just stuff that was funny. You could actually laugh at stuff. The what was it? Tosh.0. That's a great show too. I would laugh my butt off watching him. I don't know how he wasn't killed. I mean, you think that someone would shoot him walking down the street because he was so obnoxious to everybody, but he was funny as shit, Back when entertainment was real entertainment. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand it. I mean, we've just gone downhill when it comes to entertainment. It's just you can't laugh at anything anymore when we used to, and it was good stuff.
The bad thing is that Flady's kind of slamming the man show, and I can understand that because there were some other bits that didn't hit.
Some of it was boring, but there was lots of stuff in it that I thought was funny, and I was a woman. I watched it, and I thought it was funny as shit. Some of it, not all of it.
Not all, but yeah, a lot of it was great. A lot of it was actually pretty fucking intelligent comedy.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of Corolla and
as the show went on, it got more like the one guy got very self-absorbed, and I just was like, I'm done, But when it first started, it was just genius, I thought, There was so many things in it. I was like, damn, this is fucking funny. Oh, I said the F word. Hope you don't get in trouble. No. Oh. Sorry. But,
on my channel, how dare you?
But the thing is, I don't understand. To me, it doesn't make any sense why people wouldn't want more people to watch your show. The more popular your show is, the more money you make in advertising, So, I don't know. I just don't get it. It's just ridiculous to me. Say, if I was rich, that's what I would do. I would want to have my own network, and I would actually let the writers write. And if the people liked it, then I would want them to keep doing it. I'd want them to keep doing whatever it was they did, using their magic to entertain the people watching my show or my channels on my network, and not worry about filling somebody's void, of whatever genre or whatever it is that they think that we should be doing. Instead, if it's popular, you cater to them. The customer is the people watching your stuff. You want to make them happy, and as long as they're happy, then your shows are going to grow, So I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's like whoever's in charge are stupid. I mean, I don't know how they keep their head up. I mean, how many flops does Disney have to make before they realize, man, we're sucking? I mean, how many? I wouldn't invest. I wouldn't buy any stock in Disney. I think they suck. I mean, I really do. I think they're terrible. I would never pay 1 cent. I mean, they're not even worth 10 cents to me as a share. I wouldn't even do that.
Well, they're discovering that people don't like the new Little Mermaid.
Well, yeah, I know. But there's been a lot of shit they've been making. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse. I just don't know who's investing in them and why.
I stopped watching them when did I stop watching Disney? The John Carter of Mars I have yet to see, and I've told myself I'm going to definitely see John Carter of Mars, but that'll probably be the last Disney production that I watch, because that's the last chance they had to make good product that not many people were familiar with. And Mac's right. He's like, Disney has gone the way of the devil. They really have. Pushing this agenda right here. All right. Well, incoming rant, 3, 2, 1. You trans fuckers out there supporting the trans movement.
Mm-hmm.
This month is not your month at all. It's just June. And no matter what patriotic MFs say, July is not Patriot Month. It isn't. I got plenty of lesbian and even bisexual friends and gay friends that really don't like the trans agenda, which has taken over the entire alternate lifestyle bullshit. And as much as they want to say they're part of that or they're all allies, they're not. Lesbians are fed up. the gays are fed up, and you fuckers that want to put on different parts of your body like Lego fucking pieces, you're just fucked up in the head. You're just seriously fucked up in the head, because the gays and the lesbians might not appreciate the challenges they have. Like, most of us are predisposed to obesity if we're on American highways and diet programs. We're going to be fatter than we were last year. Get used to it. So we have to learn discipline and try to exercise a little caution, not so much in the what a size menu. And I don't care about the demonic agenda that is out there supported by the fucking communists. If the communists like it, no, fuck you. Your movement sucks. Your movement sucks so much cock, and I want it to go away. I mean, and I don't say so much cock as in glorious cock with stunt cum coming out and shooting the cobwebs out of the corners of the room. I'm talking about miserable curdled cock that barely gets over the third knuckle of a masturbatory piece of shit in his bedroom, very lonely on a winter evening.
Yes,
your
I
trans movement
understand.
is shit, and I fucking turn off any mention of it on media if I've got to be exposed to it. I won't be an asshole in public if I've got to walk through a lobby and somebody is on television expunging the virtues of being trans. I will scream la 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 at 90 decibels like Arlie Ermy, you faggot. I fucking hate the trans movement. I don't give a shit.
I sent you a link in your Discord. I would like for you to post it for me if you can. I'm going to be doing it tomorrow night. I'm going to have a live stream from Twitter Spaces. Some of my I've got some gay, lesbian, and bisexual friends that are having a really hard time with the whole trans movement, you know, pushing things on children. And they're being ostracized because they're speaking out against grooming. You know, they're against grooming of children. And they don't think that, you know, a child should be pushed into any of these things, or teenagers. And I don't know if any of you have heard of Buck Angel. That's a person that is actual real transgender person, which they know is a dysphoria type thing. And they had to go through all this stuff, you know, where you have to live that way for 2 years and do all this different stuff through a psychiatry before they can even take meds or anything like that. What for the real sickness, not for this thing that whatever it is that it is today that they're pushing on kids. Genitals cut off, you know, it's ridiculous, and they're against it. So I have been airing a couple of their actual spaces on Twitter and doing it live on my channel so that people can actually hear from real transgender people that were pushed to do it and then realized that they didn't want to, and then how they were being torn to shreds by the people that were pushing them to do it. So these gays and lesbians, the dykes on the right, and some others that are trying to stop children from being mutilated and groomed by these psychos that have taken over the gay, lesbian, and bisexual, you know, group of people. And they're not liking it, and they're being ostracized for it. So I have a lot of friends that are in that, and they're trying to speak out against what they're doing. And how many people have you guys talked to yourselves that are always saying that Hollywood should stand up and fight against this type of stuff, child abuse and all that? Well, that's what these people are doing. And we were having a really hard time getting people to listen to them, because just because they're gay or they're lesbian or they're bisexual or they're a real transgender, a person that had to go through the actual psychiatry stuff, not some kid that just says, I want to use a litter box because I'm a kitty. That's not the same thing. Totally not the same thing. It's a psychosis, and they know that there's only two genders. Okay, see, that's another thing. People are being told that all of them are like that. They're not. If you sit and listen, there are these people that are trying to fight against it, and they're being ostracized by this big group of people, the elites that are trying to push this on our children. And I'm an advocate for it. And it's hurt my channel because every single time I've aired one, I've lost 4 or 5 subscribers, but I don't care. It's worth it to me if I can save one kid from going through this because they listened to one of these shows and heard from a real person that went through it and was changed their body, went through all these shots and stuff, and realized that's not what they wanted, that they really weren't wanting to be transgender. They just wanted somebody to accept them, and because they couldn't get the care they needed, they got pushed into it by this group of people that are trying to groom you into doing something against your will.
Exactly.
You know,
and
I've lost people for it, but you know, I don't care. I'm not on here to become some big, huge, famous star or something like that. I'm just on here because I like what I'm doing. I'm enjoying. I'm meeting some wonderful people. It's helped me in a down part of my life where I felt I just needed something. You know, I needed to feel like I could meet people that like me for me. You know what I mean? For who I am, and you know, it's helped me a lot emotionally to do this, and that's why I'm doing it. It's not simply to get, you know, I don't know. A lot of people are on it for totally different, and you know, and it sometimes hurts my feelings when people say, "Well, you need to do an OnlyFans," and I'm like, if they look at me as some kind of tramp, you know, even though I might show cleavage or whatever, or I might have an innuendo with one of my pickup lines, I do it because it's funny, or I want to give you a little peek of fun, you know, like me dressing up with, you know, like this. It doesn't mean I want to go and, you know, have a gangbang or anything like that. I'm doing it because it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm pretending to be something I'm not for a short, small amount of time and talk about things that I enjoy. It's nothing like OnlyFans, I don't think.
No.
But, you know, sometimes it hurts my feelings because I feel like, you know, I just can't be myself, and it's still going to have somebody that's want me to send them pictures of my feet, you know, and stuff like that. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I guess I don't know. I'm just not the right person to be in this environment or something. But I do care about children. I'm huge against anyone. And what's really sad is when you have people that say, well, all those gays and lesbians and blah, 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 all they want to do is hurt kids. And that's wrong. That is not true. You have Ted Bundy, you have the Green River Killer, you have the Golden State Killer, you have all these serial killers, and they're all straight white men. You know, so many of them. And there's a few blacks and Hispanics in there too. And you have a few women that have murdered. Eileen Wuornos, you know, she was a serial killer. So it's not because of your sexual orientation of who you're attracted by. Any person can be attracted to kids, and if they're attracted to kids, then there's something wrong with them mentally. That's not a normal process. Another person who falls in love with someone, whether it's their same gender or not, it's none of my business, as long as they're consenting adults. You know, if they want to make porn, I have no problem with them making porn. It's not that. It's the fact that they're taking somebody that's not old enough to even understand what their body's going through, you know, haven't even had a period or a girlfriend yet, and they're doing children. You know,
it feels like you're preying on children. You know how when you're a teenager, all your emotions are just amplified up to 11. Mm-hmm. And you're unable to rationalize things because you're a teenager. You don't have.
You don't understand what's going on with your body. You just know you want something and you don't know how to get it. So these people come up to you and say, "Hey, we can help you get this." Just like drug pushers, same thing. It's the same thing. The people that sell the fentanyl and all that other stuff to these kids, heroin, crack, crank, whatever else they can get them, they're not doing the drugs. You know, they're selling it. They're making money. They're buying, you know, gold chains and fancy cars and a nice penthouse apartment and using it off of people. That then if they die, they go, "Oh well, let's go on to the next one." They don't care. They could care less. you know, and it's sad to me. It's really sad that we have so many people that do that. And instead of wanting to help them, they just stay out of it. They just stay away from them, you know, walk away or whatever. And I've had a lot of friends that I've, you know, confronted and tried to help. And then I'd have my own sister say, I can't believe you waste so much time with that person. You know, to me, that's what probably hurts me the most, is that I get my heart broken because I can't help people, you know, for some reason. There's something about me that I can't get through to them, or I can't get them to see what they're doing to themselves and their people that love them. And it's sad to me, you know, but, you know, I guess I'm an empath or whatever, you know, and I suck up their sadness, you know, in their pain. And I want to help them, but, you know, I can't, because it's got to be them that makes that decision. And it's the same thing with these children. You got parents that take their kids to these shows, give them money to put in these people's underwear and stuff. I mean, to me, that child should be taken away from those people. Those people are not there for their best interests. No normal parent would do that. If I walked in and saw something like that, the first thing I'd do is run and grab that kid away from that person. And then I'd probably get arrested because I had no right to step in and try to help that child and save that child, or to keep that child from harm. But I'd still do it. Just like if I was walking down the street and I saw a guy beating up a woman, I would get in between them and try to help the woman. I don't know why he's beating her up. All I know is that he's beating her up, and that's not right. Or even if the of a guy hitting him over the head with a brick or something, I would try to stop her. That's just something I would do. And it's sad that so many people would just walk by and take a video, put it on Facebook, and that's not good.
We live in a very sad society.
Yeah,
that's all I can
really
say.
Bad.
Really.
It's really bad, and it's heartbreaking.
I just feel like all this stuff going on in the trans movement, this is just the rise of bail, and it's very much a movement that is birthed in very much an Old Testament anti-Christian, anti-Jewish, not favorable to Yahweh mindset. These people hate their bodies, and they don't really hate everyone around them, but they hate themselves. They hate that act of creation, and they've convinced these young kids to get involved and to be absolutely just dead set on having a normal, quote unquote, productive life. And they're using the malcontent teenagers to push this agenda, because we're being forced to see this shit day in, day out. You know, it's Pride Month. What are you doing for Pride Month? Aren't you being an ally? No, actually, I want to collapse your entire idea of a movement, because it's garbage and bullshit, and it's eroding the society that I like so much. And I mean, I'm not a saint by any means, but I don't feel that this is going to be healthy for us in 20, 30 years. This is going to be one of those giant
healthy now.
Hunks out of it. Yeah, it's horrible.
I mean, when you can't even go anywhere, okay, even Target or Walmart or any store, and take your child, because anyone could walk by wearing something with something hanging out, you know, then your kid's going, what's that? You know, or why are they doing that? And then you have to tell them something, explain something to them that they never should have even seen, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to explain to my
even if it's a man and a woman of proper age walking along or sitting on the ground groping and, you know, doing things in public where a small kid could see them. That's wrong. You know, I don't agree in any of that stuff. I mean, I've done a couple things on my stupid YouTube channel, and I have it for 18 and older. Okay. And I've had so many people make fun of me for that. And I'm always saying the dirty words, you know, or, you know, innuendos. And that's all I'm doing. But other people, I've seen them piercing their genitals on YouTube, and it's for anybody to see it. You know, it's like, I don't understand it. I just don't want people to, I don't want some kid flipping through and seeing me say that fuck you or something like that, or worse, some of my, you know, pickup lines or whatever, and just be able to hear it and play it for their friends, I'm doing the best I can to try to make it sure it's for old enough people that should be able to hear that, you know. And people make fun of me. I'm a fuddy duddy, whatever you want to call me, old lady. That people have made jokes and told me that I'm gonna be one of those little old ladies that has 50 cats, you know, or whatever. I don't care. I'm still not gonna do it just because they don't like it or they're gonna make fun of me for it. But you know, and that's why I tell people, you know,
you're not
just
coming
be
in
yourself.
town on Saturday, are you?
Do what?
You're not coming in town on Saturday, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to be coming around. I'm going to be going to Texas around the 18th because that's when we're around in there is when we're trying to set up to go to Six Flags. I'm excited.
Over in Dallas?
Uh-huh. Okay. Or is it in Plano? I can't remember.
It's not the one in San Antonio. You're going to the one up there, the Six Flags over.
Yeah, near, because the people that I'm going to go visit live near South Fork.
Okay.
You know, the one that was on the TV show.
if you want kittens, if you want to start your career early as the woman with all the cats,
I don't want any kitties. No, I have chickens.
I found a customer of mine today, and he was trying to get me to get the cats. He's like, "Come on, take one." I'm like, "I don't like cats." My dog loves you. Yeah, it's a dog. That's why. He had this beautiful shepherd collie mix.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with this dog. Just a beautiful, like, I can tell, like, we're not on the best terms, but the dog, like, laid on my feet and begged me to rub his belly, so I did. And so the dog was, like, very happy with me, and he likes me. Apparently, he doesn't like all the people for FedEx or all the people for Uber Eats, but if you want a cat, I can get you a cat. I'll get you another cat.
No, thanks.
You don't want another cat? You
I haven't had a cat in a few years. But I have chickens now. Remember, I lost both my dogs. They both died. They were both old. And purebreds don't live as long as, you know, mixed breeds or whatever. And after that, I decided to do the chicken thing. And that's how I was, you know, raising them. And chickens don't take that long and to raise till they're an adult. And then I had the beautiful rainbow of colors of eggs. And then I lost a few to predators. So then I was trying to restock that. And then that raccoons came. Remember that whole mommy and her 5 babies ate all my other babies that I had one at a time, taking them out and chomping on them. And then I finally get me some more. And then someone dumps off a dog and she kills a whole bunch of my laying chickens. And, you know, I'm still trying to get her to, you know, I'm probably never going to be able to let her outside unless the chickens are locked up because she goes right for them every time. And I'm still trying to find a home for her because you know, I've spent a lot of money on a chicken coop and all the different stuff. And now I have a dog that I'm about to get her fixed on the 15th. So, because I don't want her to have puppies, you know, but I'm trying to do the right thing, even though it's not a pet that I asked for. You know, she just showed up at my house, and I'm not going to be the asshole that dumps her and leaves her to fend for herself because that's horrible. I can't believe anyone would do that to any animal, and that's wrong. But, you know, I'm doing the best I can for her, even though she's already killed a bunch of my chickens. I hand raised, you know. And, you know, I was heartbroken over it, but and all my friends are like, you should just shoot her in the head and bury her in the woods or whatever. And I'm not going to do that either because that's not right. Yeah, but when you live in Hillbillyville, that's what they do, you know, and they do it all the time. I mean, what's sad is, and I tell people all the time, don't buy pets for Christmas. Don't give your kid a kitten. Don't give your kid a puppy for Christmas. A pet is something you're going to have at least 10 years or more. You know, a dog or a cat is responsibility. You don't just get it as a fluffy, cute thing because 6 months later, they're dumping them left and right out in the rural areas because they just say, well, I don't like it. It's chewing on my shoes. I don't like it. It's pooping in the house.
That's the one thing I'm going to be guaranteed. If we actually get a house in the country, we will have not only the dog we want, we will get other people's dogs over time.
Yep.
That's the only good.
One day I was driving to Sandy's. This was like about, I guess, 10 years ago. I was driving to my sister's house and I was taking a back road, a dirt road. And there was a white utility truck parked on the side of the road, and I slowed down because you don't want to throw gravel on him, and I couldn't see him. So I was looking up to see if he was climbing the pole. I didn't see him anywhere, so I pulled over on the other side of the road, and I walked over to make sure he was all right because it was like 100 degrees outside, and he was in the weeds. And I go, "Are you all right?" And he goes, "I dropped the tool." He was trying to find it, and he said, "But I found this." And he picks up this little bitty kitten. And then he brings it over and he says, "Do you want a kitten?" I was like, "No, I don't want one." But he said, "Well, I found 4 of them so far." Someone dumped a whole little, these weren't even 6 weeks old. They just dumped them like they were garbage. It just pisses me off so bad that there's so many scumbags. And guess what they'll do? Every Christmas, they'll go buy more and give them to their kids, a fluffy, cute little life that needs somebody to take care of it. And then when they just get sick of it and the kid don't want to clean up the poop or whatever, they just chuck it somewhere like it's nothing. And those people are horrible people that would do that. They're not any different than a person that throws their beer cans out the window when they're driving down the road, or all that. And it's just sad because
now I feel personally attacked.
Do what?
Now I feel personally attacked.
I'm sorry, it's just wrong.
Beer cans while they drive.
I smoked years ago. I used to smoke, right out of high school. I smoked a little bit for a couple of years, and I remember flicking my cigarette butts out the window. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I could start a fire, and I wouldn't even know because I'm driving through a state. How would I know if I even burnt someone's house down? So after that, I just said nope, and I got baking soda, and I had a tin can, a big thing of bean can, and I just put baking soda and stuff in there, and I put my cigarette butts in the car instead of throwing them out the window. So if it's an orange peel, banana peel, something like that, that's going to be gone in a week, you shouldn't throw trash and stuff out there because there's animals and other creatures that live out there. You see these horrible videos now because you can see it on stuff now, but they didn't have them years ago. But of those Coca-Cola things, those little things that hold all your soda pop wrapped around birds' throats and on turtles, and it's all dug into their shell and all that. It's just horrible, and we're doing it to them. It's I'm not saying there's global warming that we're ruining the Earth's ozone layer and we're all gonna die. I'm just saying that there's no reason to throw stuff like that in the woods when you don't need to. When we go camping with our dad, we took all our trash with us, and he would, this is the coolest thing, is that we'd find 2 trees that were pretty close together. My dad would cut off a couple limbs, and he had always took a little screwdriver or a hammer and nails, and then we would hammer the 2 pieces of wood on each side of the 2 trees so you could sit on it, and then we dig a hole with our little shovel that folded up in our pack, and we would pee and poop there, and then we'd bury it when we were done. And so we did all that stuff. It was really cool to get to do all that stuff with my dad. He was so smart. And I loved doing all that. But, we tried to leave it looking like we never were there, with your fire and everything. You put it out. Like, what was it? Smokey the Bear would always tell you how to put your fire out and all that stuff. It seemed like when I was a kid that we cared about the environment. I'm not talking about, driving your car and ruining the air or what. I'm talking about, destroying where animals live, trashing it up, leaving Cokes and cans and beer cans and bottles and, plastic bags and all kinds of trash there. So the next time you come, have you ever gone to a roadside park, whatever, and you pull up and you want to, just sit and relax and there's garbage everywhere? And you just say, I'm not going to stop here. Why? Because it's not pretty anymore because someone else didn't give a shit and just threw their trash out. So now everyone's got to look at it. So I just don't.
Years ago, I had a girlfriend travel with me over the road, and about maybe 3 days into the trip, and she's just kind of getting a little antsy. She wants some action. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. We'll pull over. And we get to a rest stop. There's people fucking in the grass. So, like, God damn it, we got to move. I don't want to hear those 2 men moaning out in the dandelions, okay? We have to go. We didn't I didn't care. Like, okay, well, you guys are getting yours. It's great. Maybe they were driving a smart car or something. I don't know. Whatever they were driving in 2006. We took the Freightliner down the road and we parked it up on a ramp and got that taken care of. That was funny. At the time, for me, that was funny because it's like, I want to hear that. Like, you get to an outdoor park and you're going to do something. You don't want to hear somebody else doing it there first. That might take you out of the mood. And that sure shit did it for me.
Someone else likes nature too, apparently.
Yeah, somebody else likes nature more than I do because they got there first. And I know. But I really don't support the trans movement. So if you see me burning a pride flag, to help me get the cuffs off, and that'd be great.
I remember one time when I was in high school. I think I was 16, and I was with two of my other friends, and we were horseback riding. We just go riding through the woods and stuff. And we pick poke salad or whatever type stuff, out there, blackberries, and you could sit on the back of your horse and you didn't have to worry about getting snake bit or whatever. And we came up to a creek and it was really nice. It was beautiful out. So we just said, we're going to go skinny dip. And so we tied our horses up and we just all went swimming. We had a great time for like 2 hours. And then I remember getting on the bus Monday morning, and there was these guys in the back of the bus and like, we saw you naked. And I'm like, what? And they were like, we saw you naked. You and those other girls were swimming in the so-and-so creek. And I tried not to turn red, so I hope I didn't. And I was like, no, you didn't. And he go, yeah, we did. And I said, what color are my nipples? Like that. And he said, brown. I said, you didn't see me. And I just turned around and walked off. So I felt good because I knew they didn't see me. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't me. It was someone else that went skinny dipping in the woods. So I was lucky. But that's the only time I remember anybody ever maybe caught me in the woods naked.
Hey, RPG Grandma.
Do what?
I was saying hello to our friend RPG Grandma.
I
got to ask Janet. Next week is your week. Next week's your week.
Oh no. Okay. Well, there was a couple movies that I've been wanting to watch, and one of the movies I want to watch is called The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, but I don't have the DVD with me.
The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia.
Look it up real quick.
She says
it's a good movie. It's got Dennis Quaid in it. And it has Luke Skywalker in it, but he's not Luke Skywalker. The actor.
Well, this has got a Christy McNichols in it.
Uh-huh. Have you never seen it? Have you ever seen it?
I love Christy McNichol.
You're going to love this movie then, because it's really, really good. And she sings in it.
I am a fan of hers. She's been in a lot of movies that I've watched a lot of. Mm-hmm. And then Dennis Quaid, I think this is one of 10 movies I've not seen him in, but everything else he's done. Like,
now there's another actor in there that plays one of the I think he's like the sheriff's, maybe the sheriff or the sheriff's son, or I don't know, a deputy or something like that. And he was a big actor back then, but I can't remember what his name is right now. But that was one of the movies that I pulled out that I told you that I was trying to bounce around a little bit with older indie type of movies. You know what I mean? I'm going to start adding them a little bit more in there. And this is one of them. And I really, really think it's a great movie. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but it's good. I really enjoy it.
You got some fans of it in the chat.
Some other people seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, because it is good. It's a very well made.
I really like this lady.
I'm a hairdresser.
Yeah. She's old school hot for me. This is the IMDb page.
Yeah, she was a tomboy like I was.
Dennis Quaid, Mark Hamill, Sonny Johnson.
Yeah, Mark Hamill.
Don Stroud. Arlen.
Yeah, that Don Stroud guy. I think he's the one that plays the deputy or something. Yeah, I can't remember everyone that was in it, but it was really good. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't even remember when it came out, but I really liked it. Oh, that was another one too. Was with Chrissy McNichol and that other young woman. Can't remember what her name is. And they were going to camp, and they made a bet on they were going to see which one could get laid first, have sex for the first time.
That sounds almost like an American Pie thing.
But I can't remember the name of it. That page you were just on had both of them together. I think that was it. That one right there. Go down a little bit with the
Little Darlings.
Yeah, Little Darlings. That's it.
Yeah, Tatum O'Neal.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that because between her and Christy McNichol, that's like a yeah, retrobate time, guys.
Because see that picture right there that I'm looking at with that on that box, that girl, is it Tatum O'Neal? Is that her name? Look how much she looks like Jennifer Grey from that movie, the dancing movie, on the cover of that box, doesn't she?
Hold on.
The one with Patrick Swayze and they're dancing together and stuff.
Yeah. Well, Tatum O'Neal has an imperfect nose, which is just adorable.
Well, she was really good in that one too. That was a good one too, from a long time ago. Yeah, what's that guy's name? The one on the left, the black and white.
Dillon.
Yeah, Matt Dillon. Yeah, he's a love interest in it too. So
he's one of my favorite actors, and I know that sounds lame, but he's been in a lot of good films that I've watched over the years. Of course, the S.E. Hinton movies, the Outsiders, and I think he was in Rumblefish, and then later on he was in Wild Things with Denise Richards and the girl from the Scream movie that I never remember right, but he's probably my favorite Matt Dillon role was in the movie called Takers, where he played a cop going after some bank robbers. And I know that's a small time film, but that's one of my more favorite movies he was in.
But I don't know about any of you guys, but my mom had 5 daughters. So every year she put us in summer camp. I guess it was like to get a mini vacation. So we were like there for like 2 weeks. She would drop us off and we would stay. We canoe and, do all, play volleyball and make crafts, and stuff like that. So that's why I think why I really liked this when I did get to see it, that it was it reminded me of how much fun it was when we got to go to camp. Plus, I wasn't stuck with them all the time because they moved us together depending on our age group or whatever. So it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I might have a man crush on Matt Dillon. I wanted to be him during the movie Wild Things. That's all I'm going to say.
I'd have to go through the thing. I'm not very good at remembering the names of the movies. I'd have to see who's in it and stuff. Say, oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, Wild Things was the one that, like, when that hit our small town, like, for about a week after the movie released, we were all talking about threesomes, and, nobody got laid for about a month because our girlfriends shut us down.
Yeah, I liked Mark Hamill in this movie. I thought he did a really good job. And he wasn't Luke Skywalker, so.
Now, this movie was inspired by a 1973 hit song by Vicki Lawrence. Huh.
From a song?
Yep, a song that Vicki Lawrence did inspired the movie that you're picked for next week.
Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah, my mom loved that song. She loved Vicki Lawrence. She used to watch that show, the Carol Burnett show. I remember my mom watching that
years
show.
ago.
Yeah, a long time
ago. Vicki Lawrence and Mama. The Mama's Family stuff.
Yeah, Mama's Family. That's it. That was one of them. And it had Carol Burnett was in it, and she was the Eunice, her daughter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom liked that show a lot.
just so we all see what's going on here. Letting you guys behind the scenes of what's going on. Some of you haven't done this because you don't stream, but whenever you're building a live stream, put it to my show or my channel right there. This is going to be...
Normally I dig it out and have it sitting on my desk, but I totally forgot. Because I do have the DVD. It's such a good movie. But I've had people make fun of my choices. So, I mean, I think it's a great movie. So we'll see if anybody else watches it and likes it or not. I like that. Max says, yeah, I would probably follow Mad Max into his cult compound if he asked. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I loved Mad Max. I thought those were pretty good movies.
Schedule this for later. Do the thumbnail later. For next week at 19:30. And the reason why I want to show that off is because I want people to understand, like, no. When I put myself out there, we're going to set this up. No. We're setting it up. Before this stream ends, you will see the fact that I've got it on the schedule. And that's all there is to it. I just want to be as transparent as possible on things. Back to this movie we discussed tonight. The two movies. You really enjoyed this film.
Mm-hmm. I did. I like both of them.
A Dead Camper, I would probably rate a 6.7.
I would give it like a 7.5 at least. Simply because everything was, I mean, they did it with nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So, and there was, even though they did it with nothing, and there was, you know, a little overacting, a little underacting because they seemed brand new at it. But even though like the tunnel or the opening to hell, you know, the gate to hell,
yes,
you could tell they took so much time in everything they did to try to make it as believable as possible, you know. And even though they didn't have blood spatter with little squibs or any of that stuff, it didn't have to have it. I laughed, and that's what you're supposed to do. And I thought it was scary in some little parts here and there. So I thought it was very good. I thought it did a great job considering it's such a small budget. And the second one, which I thought was better, I would definitely give it an 8. I'd give it at least an 8. The second one. The only thing I didn't like about the second one was the way that they died in the end, because I just didn't understand why that happened. You know what I mean? Because I was expecting more of a happy ending. The princess, we can hear the princess. We got to find her before we can end the game. And then they come in and kill themselves, basically. I don't know. I just didn't like the ending of that. But that's what took it way down for me on that, the second one. But I liked them both. I thought they were funny. I laughed at both of them. And I thought the imagination of whoever wrote the scripts, was it the same guys that was starring in it? Were they the writers?
Yes. Don Early is more of an actor than Matt Vancil is. Matt Vancil will take a passing role that gives him 30 seconds of screen time at most. Mm-hmm. But Don Early will be in a film. I'm going to set up for the 19th of June, the Gamers Part 2 Dorkness Rises, because I got to show you the stuff they did when they had a bigger budget, and the fact that the community got behind them on this. You'll You're gonna understand why I push you so hard to see this movie, and I'm going to get out there. It'll be the 19th of June that we watch it, because the entire lack of a budget you saw with the Gamers Part 2,
Mm-hmm.
that gets better, and then they did other stuff, and that got better. So,
well, yeah, I thought, the first one we watched was their first one because it was so, the acting wasn't really, really good. I mean, the guy that played the one who turned into the vampire, I thought he was the best actor out of the whole group. And then the girl that played, what was her name? Sonia? Is that what you said her name was?
Yes. Sophia.
Okay. Sophia. And then the other guy that played Gabriel. Those are the top 3 actors out of that, I thought.
You'll see more Nathan.
But then in the second one we watched, the Gamers, the guy that I thought was way overacting in the first one, I thought he did really good in the second one. So that's why I thought it was the second time, that their skills had gotten better. But you said they filmed it first because it was out first. Now, it might not have been that way, but that's how I looked at it. So I thought it was, I thought they were very good. I thought they definitely have talent, and I could see them all, doing more if they had, maybe a bigger director or more money, more people to help them, with the set design and things like that. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, so nope. Got to back that one out. It's entering the studio. Nope. Okay, fine. Enter the studio, but let's edit this. Schedule for later. And that'll be for the 19th. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, because I have to have you watch that movie, and I need you to see it. I think you're going to just enjoy it a lot. I'm looking forward to The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia because I like Dennis Quaid. And there's a movie that Dennis Quaid did back in '74 called Breaking Away. And that's...
I've seen that one.
You've seen it?
No.
Wow.
I don't think so.
As a Midwesterner, as a man from the Midwest, I think I'm not from Indiana, but I'm 90 minutes from Indiana. So I will eventually at some point.
The Crypt Keeper has a hoo-ha. What does that mean?
What is that?
A hoo-ha I thought is a woman parts. So I don't know.
Well, the thing you said before is Dad had a cinder block shelf, wire spool, table, etc. You offered me clean weed when we had the man-to-man drug talk. Nothing like the Burning Man crowd you see today.
So I don't understand what.
Whoa. Gate to Hell, isn't that Pelosi's hoo-ha?
Oh.
Like, the Crypt Keeper has a hoo-ha?
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Because I was thinking the Crypt Keeper is the one that did that horrible, hideous-looking puppet creature, right?
Tales from the crypt.
The Crypt. That was great. I used to love that. I love that kind of stuff, though. That's another movie one of these days I'm going to do is the one with the guy that thinks he has a vampire living next door. And it had Roddy McDowall in it.
Yes.
As the vampire slayer.
Yeah, Fright Night.
Yeah, Fright Night. Oh my God, that was such a good movie. I love that movie. I'm going to do that one. This time, one of these days.
Yeah, our October will fill up fast. I'll just say that.
But I love scary movies. They're my absolute favorite. Thrillers, like Seven, the movie Seven with Brad Pitt. That was a really, really good movie too. And The Bone Collector, all those type of things. I just love movies like that.
Yeah, I still watch the first and second Fright Night films because I really enjoyed them. They were really kind of ahead of their time, I felt. The last movie I watched that was horror was the Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage, because you keep mentioning Nicolas Cage, and I keep wanting to believe that Nicolas Cage is capable of good movies, and that really is a good movie. The Color Out of Space was just fan-freaking-tastic.
But I love Nicolas Cage as a ghostwriter.
Do you know a character by the name of Winky Wanky Woo?
Yes.
Do you see what they put in the chat?
No. Oh. Hi.
Okay, that's an acceptable that's an acceptable response. If she would have been, oh my God.
I wonder what time it is. What time is it there where you are at? He's a long ways away.
Is he off? I take it he's off the continent.
Yeah, he's not in the United States.
Okay.
Winky, what time is it where you are? 3:50 a.m. See, that's what I said. He's been having a few. Have you been having a couple of drinks?
Yeah. RPG Grandma, she says, what's the one movie with the Aztec temple vampires? That is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, isn't that with what's the name of the actors?
George Clooney is in the first one.
Oh, George Clooney. Okay, that's not the one I'm thinking then. I was thinking the other one with the I can't remember what his name is now. Damn it, I hate that. He's on Twitter, and he did a vampire movie, and it was really good. And I can't remember the name of it. I hate it when I do that. I just went blank. James Woods. It's a vampire movie with James Woods in it.
Vampires with James Woods.
Yes, that was great. I love that one too. I mean, there's so many really good, quirky vampire movies that are really fun. And yeah, I would love that.
I love the Lost Boys too. Six Nation 30.
Yeah, Lost Boys. Oh, James Patrick is so hot. When he falls back on the bed and his earrings wiggles, whatever, he's hot. Man, that actor was good looking. I would have been a vampire if he was around when I was there. I'd let him bite me. I would have been him too.
Janet's just saying all the things that our friends said back when this movie came out. Because I heard this going on the school bus. I heard this on the way back home.
Jason Patrick was very attractive.
All the girls went stupid crazy for Jason Patrick.
Yeah, he was smoking hot.
They thought he was a hunk. They really did.
Or she liked the bad boy, the blonde one. What was his name? Kiefer Sutherland. She thought he was hot, but I never really liked blondes too much. I always was in for the darker headed guys for some reason. That's who always turned my head.
Well, we've got the rest of June, as you guys saw, is scripted out for us. It'll be a lot of fun. Next week, we're doing this movie that Janet wants to do called The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia.
Yeah.
And I'm looking very forward to this because I love Christy McNichol. When I was a little kid, I used to watch a lot of her stuff, and I think I saw Little Darlings, and that was a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a good one too. Really is. But just like that movie, The Bridge to Terabithia, whatever, yes. That's a really good movie too. I mean, I'm just, there's just a whole range of great movies out there. It just depends on whether or not I want to cry or not want to watch one. Even the Flash Gordon, I'd like for us to watch that one. That's a very good movie. I loved it. I've seen it like 50 times.
I just want my crew that's here watching us, the on both channels. You guys heard Janet say she wants to watch Flash Gordon.
I love it. That's a good movie. And then also want to watch The Dark Crystal, Labyrinth. Oh, I love it too. That's a good one too.
We're not going to run out of films to watch.
No, I mean, there's so many good movies, and it's sad because we have to go back in time to watch good stuff. because it's just hard to get anything good today. You know.
Some of you guys and gals that are here, Winky Winky Woo asked, Janet, have you seen Lady Hawk?
Yes, I love Lady Hawk. It's so romantic. And I think that was the prettiest I ever saw Michelle Pfeiffer in anything. Oh, and that reminds me of another one the one with Michelle Pfeiffer, Susan Sarandon, Cher, and Jack Nicholson. What was the name of that? Witches of Eastwick.
Witches of Eastwick was great.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. See, they just keep popping in my head now. That's a good one. Very well made.
There was a movie or documentary that was put out 2 years ago called In Search of Tomorrow. And it's really it focuses on the Empire Strikes Back 82 era, Empire Strikes Back 79 to like 82. And then it goes into like all the movies we grew up on, and what made the 80s so cool was all the stuff we had from the 60s, like Star Trek. And there were other TV series back then too, like UFO, Space 1999, and all these things that built up to it. And then we had the explosion of amazing sci-fi. Thank you, George Lucas. If you're here in the chat, George Lucas, throw your eyes out there. If you understand what I'm talking about and you like this movie, I'm basically going through In Search of Tomorrow, and my list is pretty much the reference sheet in that documentary. Every movie that they talk about, I would be happy to review with Janet.
Was the Abyss in that documentary?
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think it might have been, but that was 89, and it really felt like a 90s sci-fi movie, even though it was filmed in 88.
What about TV shows? You know, like wasn't Silver Bullet a TV show, the Stephen King, or was that a movie?
That's a movie with Gary Busey.
That was a good one. And what about? I'm trying to think of the other one, Cujo.
That was another movie.
I like the movie so much better than the book, because I read the book and I cried and cried and cried when the little boy died. I thought, oh my God, that's just horrid. It was horrible. It was one of my worst books I ever read.
My favorite werewolf story of all time is actually the TV series Werewolf on Fox. And if you remember, take a trip back in time with me to 1986, 87. Fox Channel came out and they had like 4 shows a night, and that's all they had money for. And so we got like some really bad shows, like the Down and Out in Beverly Hills TV show. Oh my God. Lady, what are you doing, bud? Why you do that?
I'm trying to read what he wrote. It says for Janet Blood for Dracula in 1974. I'd never seen it. The blood of these whores is killing me.
The blood of these whores is killing me.
I thought it said horse until I saw it now, but I've never seen this one, so I would watch it. I would watch this one. And I like scary movies if it's scary. Oh, American Werewolf in London too. That's a good one. But yeah, I'd watch that movie. When do we need to watch it?
I don't know. I think July sounds pretty good. Let me get this ready real quick, because back to the you get an instant assignment on this. Create live stream.
I haven't seen that TV show, Werewolf. Who stars in it?
I don't know.
Wolfen, I remember that. That was a really good movie. That actor that starred in that, my mom really loved him. I can't remember what his name is.
Chuck Connors?
I don't know. The guy that was hunting the wolf and
the werewolf in the TV show Werewolf from 1986-87 with Fox.
Oh no, I don't know that one.
Okay, because there was a whole TV series where Chuck Connors, the rifleman, television's the rifleman.
No, I don't remember watching that one. That TV show. But Wolfen, the actor from Wolfen, My mom really liked him. She loved Gene Hackman too. Gene Hackman was one of her favorite actors. Oh, Winky Woo apologized. He said he's sorry for the naughty chat. I always do this to the lovely Janet.
Well, if it wasn't, I won't say deserved, but if it wasn't welcomed and she knows you're a friend of hers, if it wasn't cool, like the entire mob would have booted you out, dude. But you're fine. So
yeah, and he stays up so late just to be able to see me do anything, and I appreciate that. But he's not. He's just kidding around. You know what I mean? Cool. He's not like one of those other people that leaves me some of those other messages. Albert Finney, that's who it is. Yes, that's the actor. I remember my mom talking about him. She really liked him. Blood for Dracula. It's not a porn, is it?
Paul Morrissey directed and wrote it. Joe D'Alessandro, Burukier, Vittorio Di Sia.
It's French?
Italian.
It's what?
Italian.
Italian? Oh. I have 5% Italian in me from my DNA. It's a Roman Polanski movie?
I don't think it's Roman Polanski.
Well, I thought I saw him in the cast or whatever in that list of
Andy
people.
Warhol, a film by Paul Morrissey.
So you keep going down, you'll see him. A little bit farther down on the right hand side, it says Roman Polanski. See,
he's the man in a tavern, waiting for a young girl. I'm lying. He's not waiting for a woman in a tavern. He's waiting for the orphanage to let out the kids on recess. Did I say that loud?
Horrible.
I know.
No, I know, but
The
Dark Shadows, that was a show that I remember my grandmother talking about. So soap opera, right?
Yeah, Dark Shadows.
It was about vampires. And then what was it? They tried to do a remake, a movie or something with the pirate guy. I can't remember his name is right now. Sorry, I'm stuffed up and my shoulder's hurting. So I can't think very good. And plus I'm not real smart anyways. But
they had 2 seasons of this werewolf TV show, and it was really good. Chuck Connors played the antagonist, the sheriff hunting the werewolf. It for 1986 with a TV show with no budget, it was really good horror. It was good suspense.
Did they ever catch the werewolf?
The end of the show, you find out how it ends, and it was satisfying.
Well, I haven't seen it, so that might be something we could watch. But I still really do want to do Futurama. I know, but there's a lot of seasons of that. It's a shame.
It sounds like the spring break back in SoCal.
Yeah. Somebody put on there, it says, "Hey, Bruce and Janet, have either of you seen Waxwork or Waxwork 2?" Now, was that with
Isn't that Paris Hilton?
Oh, I'm trying to remember if it was can't remember the actor, his name, but he was in Thriller. He talked in the song Thriller for Michael Jackson. Vincent Price. Is that a Vincent Price movie?
I don't know if that's Vincent Price. Hold on. Lady, we're going to set this up for July.
Or was it the other guy that played Dracula a lot? I can't remember what his name was.
July 3rd.
You guys are going to really get us going, aren't you? It won't be long, and we won't even be able to pick movies anymore. We'll have to do all their movies.
okay with this. I know that sounds bad, but I'm quite okay with this because what happens is that I receive money from YouTube and then I turn money over to Wounded Warrior program, which drags down my tax bracket. I'm
Yeah,
okay
which
with
is
that.
good, which is good because it's a good program.
I like them quite a bit.
And I don't mind, especially when I get to watch movies I've never seen. I mean, I just watched 2 movies yesterday, that I never watched before. So, and I liked them. I laughed a lot and I enjoyed it. So, yeah, it says right there, Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, the Holy Trinity of the Hammer horror films. That's right. I remember all of them, watching them on Saturday afternoon on TV. My mom would always get on to me because I'd tie a towel around my neck and chase my sisters around and try to bite them. And then when I first found out all those cool Dracula comics and stuff, that's when I really got into Dracula.
Janet, did you ever watch a show called Vampire the Masquerade?
I don't think so. My mom wouldn't let me watch a lot of stuff because she thought I was obsessed. So if it was something on TV that she could control from me, then no, I have. That's probably why I didn't get to see it. A couple of times I had to sneak out to go to the movies and stuff just to go see certain things. So my mom would tell me no, I wasn't allowed to see it. So, or my dad would take me. So I still like vampires today. So you get obsessed with something when you're a kid, you're going to always like it, most likely.
He's right. Don't put yourself down. You're plenty smart.
Oh yeah, on some things I am. I think I have knowledge on.
Waxworks has, I think Paris Hilton gets killed in the first 5 minutes, if I remember right.
I don't remember seeing that one. I remember people talking about her dying, and they were glad to see her die or something. But I remember her and her best friend had a TV show, and they went to Walmart, and they were like, "What's a Walmart?" What was the name of that series? It was real popular because I remember a lot of people talking about it.
99. Oh, that's hot. That's what they used to say. Hot. Flady, the Black Dynamite film. Yeah, I need to put that on the list for mine. Black Dynamite is a blaxploitation kung fu comedy.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing.
I love kung fu. You know, I love that kind of fighting. Yeah, I like True Blood too. It was really good. The first 2 or 3 seasons were really good, and then it just fell apart. It was like they got rid of all the good writers or something. It was terrible.
Sorry about that, Mac. Kindred, the Embraced. It was not Vampire the Masquerade. It was about the game Vampire the Masquerade, which I don't like saying that around Janet because then she's like, "Wait, there's a game where you can play vampires," and then Janet wanders off to another table.
Hey, I told you I have another guy he said I was his muse, and I got him. I've been sending you some of the stuff that he's been doing because he's working on a role playing game with like a sci-fi theme, the one about the pebbles that you eat.
Yes.
And it gives you special powers and stuff. So I don't know. I can't wait till he's finished. He's still sending me stuff, so he wants me to play that game with him. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll try to do that.
See, a lot of us liked the Kindred show. It wasn't really great, but it was enough for us to want to stay home on Monday night and watch it at 8 p.m. I think it had like a full season or maybe 16 episodes. It might have had only 8 episodes, but it was good. I think the guy that played the Prince of the City got killed in a motorcycle wreck. In 1988, Waxworks had Zach Gilligan in it. any Chinese horror film. There's some good Chinese horror films there. Okay, Janet, I understand that your allergies are starting to work on you a little bit more.
I don't know why they start to wear off, and man, I just get stuffed up. My eyes start watering. But and plus my shoulders hurt, and I'm gonna have to take one of my pills. It's weird. It started in my neck, and then it was in my shoulder blade, and now it's like in here in my arm. And when I went to the doctor, she's like, "You need a massage." I was like, "Yeah, that would be good," but they're so expensive, to go in and have a certain area done. But so I'm taking some at night. I was supposed to take some steroids up, but I didn't take them. I know I should have, but I didn't, because I feel like I gained 50 pounds every time they put me on a steroid pack. And I was like, God, I got to work out for, the year to get rid of the 50 pounds.
Little does Janet know we're into that.
Do what?
Janet's like, oh no, I'm going to get chubby. And like the entire crew's like, she doesn't even know we're into that.
Yeah, but I don't want to be chubby. It's hard to get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
The older you get, the harder it is to lose weight or to stay in a certain shape. You know what I mean? And I don't want to lose my boobs, but I want to lose it everywhere else. Then that's tough because you can't use your arms. You can't use anything that has pec muscles. You lose your chest, or you pay for a new one, which I don't want to. I like my original package.
Lady, that seems like right now I don't have a membership set up for my channel because I have nothing to give. I am stretched out on time and I apologize. But super chats on this show will basically be going to help with Wounded Warriors, and there's not a problem for me and Janet to watch a 2-hour film.
Yeah, we like it. And plus, we're going to invite you to come on the show with us and talk about it. Aren't you excited?
If you don't want to be on, that's fine.
Yeah, you don't have to. But we want to invite you. I think it's great because I don't know of anybody else that does that. So we're like doing our own thing. I like that.
And looking forward to this. If you don't want to do it the 3rd of July, let me know what week we'll have you on, and we'll be more than happy to work that around on your schedule. Dude, this right here, Winky is my spirit animal. I won't lose my beer belly, but
he's really funny, and he's really nice, and he was one of my very first subscribers. He's always been just a really sweetheart. I mean, he gets a little overboard sometimes after he's had, but it's been up drinking a long time. It's 4 o'clock in the morning for him.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
Probably wrap it up on this show. I really appreciate everybody popping in here, especially we had about 10 or 12 people at one point on our affiliate network over at Rumble.
I wonder, I have to go. I wish I could see the Rumble people too, because I want to see if I recognize anyone.
We only had one chatter, but it was the same one who contributed to us last time I streamed on Rumble. I think it was Thursday night. And really appreciate that Death Dog 13. Thank you, sir. Lady One, you didn't have to, but did we? For 5 pounds.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Do that, my friend.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Winky, do you have available equipment to do at least audio sharing on here? And if you do, is there a movie that you particularly like? Mac Thompson, have yourself a great night, sir. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Grandma. Thank you.
Good night.
And Winky, if you need time to think about it, go ahead, get in touch with Janet. We've got a full schedule for the next 5 weeks, so you can take your time. We'll be more than happy to bring you on for that show. If you have a movie that you want to watch, be more than happy to bring you on as third panelist.
Yeah, it would be fun. And I won't bite.
She promises she won't bite. He says he's very shy. All right.
But all right, think about it. Just think about it.
Think about it.
We just want everybody to know how much we appreciate all of you guys. We loved it doing this. I mean, that's why I told them. I said I'd do it even if we didn't have anyone come to see us. Didn't that, I would. I just like it. I love talking. I love dressing up as characters. That's fun, and I love talking to Bruce. He makes me laugh, and we're good friends. So we accept each other's faults. Wish we don't have many, do we? Do we, Bruce? We're not. There's not many faults in us.
Horrible faults. I've got horrible faults in me.
I know. I'm kidding. I have some too. We all do. No one's perfect, so I don't expect anyone to be perfect.
I want you all to be safe. Okay, you don't have to share my opinions. You don't have to agree with me on everything, and I surely don't want you to feel like I need an echo chamber. Me and Janet, we enjoy doing this every Monday night for your enjoyment. We do it for no money. We do it for any money. We're gonna do this no matter what every Monday night. For everybody that stopped by in the chat on the Rumble side, I appreciate you. All of you who didn't say anything, but I do appreciate you. On the YouTube side, RPG Grandma, Winky Wanky Woo, Six Nation 31 Kings, Flady, Mac Thompson, and so many other people that stopped by to just hang out with us while we discussed two very early indie movies. I really appreciate the time you gave us. I hope we entertained, and I hope to see you again next Monday night. This is going to be a fun endeavor. We're going back in time to when Christy McNichol was on the tip of every Monday morning radio show host talking about the new event or the new movie she was in, or what new thing was her and Tad O'Neill doing, because they started in that one movie, Little Darlings, and they were the talk of the town for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to see you here, guys.
Yep, I remember.
Thank you so much. Game on.
Yeah, thank you guys, all of you, for joining us and hanging out with us and letting us talk about something we really love, which are movies. I love it.